Welcome to this Friday edition of First Take. I'm Courtney Cronin, got Ryan Clark, and the always animated but in real life version of Monica McNutt here with us, along with Kendrick Perkins as well. Kevin Clark is going to be joining the show. Mike Tannenbaum here too. And we start this morning with a loaded NBA slate on Christmas Day that lived up to the hype. The last game of the night gave us the most drama when Nikola Jokic dropped 56 points in a triple-double performance on the Timberwolves to secure a 142-138 overtime win for the Nuggets. 18 of those points came in overtime, which set a new NBA record for points scored in the extra period. Jokic's big game came with Denver down 3 starters and offset 44 from Anthony Edwards. Jokic's final stat line, 56 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists, making him the first player in NBA history with at least 55, 15, and 15 in a game. He also scored or assisted on 96 points overall, the third most in a game in NBA history. Monica, what kind of statement did Jokic send last night with that performance?
You know what, Court? I love this question, but I also feel like he's been making this statement. Like, yes, yesterday entered an upper echelon, if you will, of performances on Christmas Day, and the first to have these monster numbers. But we continue to see Jokic do things that we are basically unheard of in the league. I mean, going into last night, he already had 14 triple-doubles, which is far and away the leader in that category. He's already won a championship. He's been a 3-time MVP. Like, I guess he continues to show us how good he can continue to be. And so I already was on lookout for the Nuggets in terms of being a real threat to win another championship this year. But I guess he just added a underlined, bold, and italicized of that statement because we already know this guy is really good.
Yeah, Perk, this feels like rinse and repeat every single time we talk about Nikola Jokic putting on games like this. To do it in a high-stakes game last night, the game that gave us the most drama, what did that show you about the Nuggets right now?
Well, that's something that I already knew, that they're legit title contenders, but I will say this, last night performance, I got to change of heart. You know, I was on this SGA is the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Jokic said, hey, big fella, keep a cool booty and watch my smoke and watch me go to work and watch me dance on one of the biggest stages in the NBA. And he was down 2 key guys. No Aaron Gordon, no Cam Johnson, no problem. I mean, 56 points. That's if he would have had 56 points, zero assists, and 0 rebounds, we still would be talking about that performance. But the fact that he had 15 assists, that's greatness. When you're able to get 56 points and get 15 assists and make guys around you better, hell, Courtney, me, you, Monica, and RC could be on the floor with Giannis, and he gonna make us, with Jokic, and he gonna make us all look good. I'm witnessing a top big, the most skilled big to ever play the game of basketball, and that's what we witnessed last night was pure greatness. They legit title contender. Anytime you have this guy on the floor, you got a chance to compete for an NBA championship.
Nikola Jokic is the best player on the planet, and we have to stop questioning it. I think back to a Drake lyric, and it's, I might look like, but I'm heavy though, right? Because when you look at Nikola Jokic and we think about all the athleticism that we see in the NBA, we sometimes discount what he has the ability to do. When you think about joining names like Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook and being able to have multiple triple-doubles on Christmas Day, 55-point triple-double with Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle on the court. And when you score 18 and top Steph Curry's 17-point overtime record, it's not just about the fact that you did it. It's about when you did it, who you did it against, and how much your team needed it. It's not like he had these bloviated numbers and you thought to yourself, well, he was just stat padding. No, every single play was needed for the Denver Nuggets to win the game. And this is the great part about my high school basketball career being the last basketball I ever played, because when I do watch all of these guys, I am in awe. And what I remember about being a college football player is anytime I went to the rec and the basketball team was there, I was there for defense and rebounding. And so when you're the best player in the world, that says so much about how skilled you are at this game. And there's only one, Nikola Jokic.
I mean, I'm looking at this box score right now. This thing is a thing. You got to frame this. This thing is a thing of beauty here. Monica, like, the fact that they were down 3 starters, I think Perk mentioned that. No Aaron Gordon, obviously, last night. They were missing some other contributors as well. as this becomes the conversation about title contenders, and I know we're going to talk about Oklahoma City, we're going to talk about the Spurs, where do you have Nikola Jokic's team right now?
I had them second behind the Thunder. I felt like the Thunder were sort of, I think it's fair, although we did it with Boston as well, to acknowledge that you could potentially be looking at a dynasty when you talk about the Thunder because of their youth. But it's not as if the Nuggets had a bad year last year, even though they weren't the last team standing. The thing about Jokic to me, the conversation of greatest in the league is often so much of a what have you done for me lately. And I think it's fair for us to be charmed by SGA and the Thunder because he's excellent as well. But as we look at the potential of dynasties, if you will, and the potential of how long Jokic could do this, his game is going to be essentially in many ways timeless in a way that so many of the other guys that are in the conversation of the greatest in the league is not, because the athleticism piece of it is not the heaviest part of his game, right? His court vision, his ability to make plays for others, his ability to shoot the ball without barely jumping, like he still gets some rebounds, like just the way that he plays, I think will be in a better position to stand the test of time. But to me, the Nuggets, if you still have OKC as your favorite to come out, the Nuggets are the biggest threat. And that's like, I don't need to debate that. I think everybody would agree that those are your top two best teams in the West.
Sure. Perk, is he the MVP right now?
I mean, after that performance, but I will say this to you, Courtney. This MVP, like I have an MVP vote. This is going to be one of the hardest MVP like voting situations, like probably over the last 10 years, in my opinion. You have so many guys right now that are playing at an MVP level. We saw what Nikola Jokic did. SGA is playing at the MVP level right now. Big Body Brunson put on the show as well to start Christmas Day off. You got Cade Cunningham, who has the best record in the Eastern Conference. He's balling and doing his thing down there in Detroit. So it's going to come down to the wire, but so many guys are deserving. But I will say Nikola Jokic is in that top two, him and SGA and everybody else. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to come down to probably the last couple of weeks of the regular season.
But to your point about Denver being a threat for a championship, they took OKC to 7 last year. And the last game was a blowout, and so I think people forget how competitive that series actually was.
Okay, let's stay in the